Now, if you want to basically, you can agree with me or disagree with me. That's up to you, but listen to the video first before you make your fucking own conclusion. Um, as the 2022 primary season gets underway, and those of us who have long opposed the former squatter Trump may finally begin seeing an end to his reign over the Republican Party. Now, you could either assume that the Republican Party is going to win, or you could assume that the Democratic Party is going to win. That's up to you to decide, and it's all based on voter turnout. Now, just consider the current realities that Trump is facing. His legal woes and their attendant distractions have not gone away. Investigations in New York and Georgia continue, and a court filing outlining potential evidence of criminal conspiracy by the January 6th Klan insurrection that he instigated. Now, the January 6th House Select Committee also looms large, but Trump, as always, denies that he did anything wrong in these cases, but we know he did. Meanwhile, Trump, once the master of social media, with more than 88 million, at one point he had more than 88 million followers on Twitter, and he had 35 million on Facebook before the Klan insurrection, and basically he's faced disastrous results and created his own his own online platforms. Now look at this ugly ass face right here. Now right there, look at that ugly ass face. God, that's hideous. How the fuck does his ugly ass wife even wake up to that ugly ass face? Damn. I don't even know how she gets off on that fat fuck. But anyway. But let's continue. Anyway, he tried, basically he terminated his own blog because it failed. He had his own blog called From the Desk of Donald Trump after 29 days due to what aides describe as basically a lack of readers. Basically, nobody was reading anything that he posted on that line. So basically, it was pulled after 29 days due to nobody reading it because they weren't interested. He recently announced another social media network, Truth Social, which is kind of surprising. Truth and Donald Trump did not go in the same sentence because Trump doesn't understand what truth is. So, it suffered from an inept rollout involving technical glitches after only being online for 13 hours. Trump's standing among the Republicans continues to weaken. A recent NBC poll shows a significant decline in his hold on the GOP, while previous surveys showed that it was up to 54%. The 54% of Republicans and the Republican-leaning voters say that they self-identified as supporters, as sycophants of Trump, rather than the Republican Party. But the new survey just recently shows that 56% of Republicans and Republican-leaning independents consider themselves sycophants of the GOP. Only 36% consider themselves sycophants of the former squatter now, which is a significant marker of Trump fatigue. Now, his behavior and inane remarks that he is likely contributed to the decline. For example, his praise of Russian President Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine by using the term genius and pretty savvy and smart contrasts with President Joe Biden's recent branding of the Russian leader as a war criminal. A Quinnipiac University poll found that Americans are overwhelmingly pro-Ukraine, and they're all for the Ukrainian president. And the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has a 64% approval rating in Ukraine. The same survey shows the death of anti-Putin sentiment. 60% of Americans think that Putin is mentally unstable, again demonstrating how out of step Trump is with the public. Now, Trump's campaign of revenge against Republicans he deems insufficiently loyal, and his maniacal obsession in spreading the big lie about the 2020 election only serves as additional vehicles of alienation. People are getting tired of hearing about the 2020 election being stolen because it wasn't. So the potential heavyweight rebels, such as the former squatter Mike Pence, the Florida governor run death Satanist, and the Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas have all broken away from Trump recently on issues such as Ukraine, COVID-19, and any type of crime. Now, Trump's endorsement may tip the balance in some important races this year, but it's far from determinative. His endorsed U.S. Senate candidates in North Carolina. So in North Carolina, his endorsed U.S. Senate candidates like Representative Ted Budd and Alabama Representative Mo Brooks are both struggling, and they may not win the party primaries. But one of his top targets, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp, is leading Trump's candidate, former U.S. Senator David Perdue, in the upcoming May primary. But Trump rescinded his endorsement of Brooks after Brooks told the Trump supporters to get over the fact that they lost the 2020 election and just move on. The primary season will prove to be the height of Trump's influence in the GOP, if at all, if he still has it. He has demonstrated over and over again that he will claim credit for victory, even in the face of failure. The reality is that some, but not all, his endorsed candidates will win nominations, but some, but not all, will be elected in November. But at best, the results for Trump will be mixed. Now, the period from March 2023 to July of 2023 will likely seal Trump's fate as a has-been, because that's basically what he is. It's the time when many presidential campaigns launch, and during this period in 2015, more than a dozen Republican candidates, including Trump, announced their intention to seek the GOP a nomination for sweater and presidential nomination. Now, Trump's rivals, such as Senators Ted Cruz of Texas and Marco Rubio of Florida, and the former administration officials such as former United Nations Ambassador Nikki Haley and former Secretary of State the fat fuck Mike Pompeo, may wait for the fat fuck Trump to announce his 2024 intention, if at all. But others, such as former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, another fat fuck, and Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, may jump in before Trump's decision. And even though I'm not big on the Republican Party, but if I was going to vote for any Republican, Larry Hogan would have my vote. And the entrance of enter in possibly Pence or DeSantis, which would absolutely force in his hand, and Trump cannot ignore such what they call legitimate contenders. Now, the cumulative effort of these factors will weaken Trump's resolve. One major event will end his 2024 aspiration: Joe Biden's potential announcement that he would. So the only way that Trump could possibly run again is if Biden announces that he's not running for a second term. Now, if Biden by some miracle announces that he's going to run in 2024, he's going to be 82 years old possibly by then. So there's no guarantee that he'll even still be around. But if he is, he is. If he's not, he's not. Now, Joe Biden's announcement that he would not seek the presidency again. Well, Biden has said that he would consider running if he's in good health. A Wall Street Journal poll this month finds that only 29% of Americans actually believe that Biden will pursue a second term. Biden not running would upend all of Trump's calculations and motivation, and his intense desire for revenge rematch, and his belief that he would win again. Biden's withdrawal would result in a Democrat Party free-for-all, and Trump would not know which Democrat he would face. He may salivate over running against the Vice President Kamala Harris, whose approval rating among voters has hovered around 50% since last June. But her nomination is far from certain, and it may not be worth the risk for him to take it. As legendary NFL quarterback and broadcaster Joseph Dandy Don Meredith used to proclaim at the end of every contest, "Turn up the lights, the fucking party's over." So, if you like the video, you could give the video a like and subscribe to my channel, RVW King. And you could also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out. And if you want to support my work even further, you could donate to my Patreon link, which you can find in the About section of YouTube. And you could donate as little as a few bucks a week or month to help further support the channel. And thanks for listening.